Okay, instead of reading it all together like we usually do, we're going to do some different things.
Oh, I know what this story is.
Okay. All right, I want you to go ahead and look at the title of this Scholastic News. What's it called? Leading the Way. So let's talk about, we're going to talk about some traits of a good leader. What are some traits of a good leader? What kind of, when we talked about character traits, what kind of traits do you need, or do you think a good leader would have? Skylin? Let's make a list of them.
They're leading a team.
Okay, they might be leading a team, but how are they going to lead? How are they going to lead? That's what we want to answer. Cooper?
Brave.
Bravely. Okay, I like that one. Cassidy?
Strong.
Okay, how would they be strong? By lifting things, or how would they be strong?
By lifting things, like to get it out of their way.
Okay, so maybe to move things out of the way. Cohen, how would, describe a leader.
Care.
Caring, what do you think they would be caring for?
Who they're leading.
Who they're leading, I like that. Okay, leader, what would make a good leader? Grace, what do you think?
Safe.
Safe, describe, I like that word, but describe that. What are you thinking when you say safe?
Keep the people safe.
They're trying to keep other people safe. I like that. Skylin?
Powerful.
Powerful. What do you mean by powerful?
That they need to be powerful, or like if like they're the jungle, they kind of need to be powerful.
How would they need to be powerful? I like that word, but what were you thinking when you said a leader needs to be powerful?
They need to show their team how to be powerful. Where they are right here, it's kind of peaceful.
Okay, so she's looking at the cover. Looks like kind of a scary situation, right? Okay, Taylor, what are you thinking?
Honest.
Honest. Why would a leader need to be honest?
Like to tell someone if they go that way, like then she's being honest that she thinks that that'll be the right way, not just say go this way, and then you'll end up and then she'll just run away from it.
I like that. I like that honesty. Cooper?
Smart.
Smart. Why would a leader need to be smart?
To know the way to get around.
To know what to do, right? Right? Okay. One more. Kinley?
Protect.
Why would a leader need to be protective? I like that one too. What do they need to be protecting, or why would they need to be protecting?
People.
The people that they're leading. Okay. All right. So we are going to read a passage about Harriet Tubman. Have you guys heard of Harriet Tubman?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what she did.
What did she do, Rasheed?
Well, she was tired of being a slave, so she went to Vegas. She
went to
escaped-
Vegas?
Yeah, she escaped and left. And then she felt bad, so she went and got her mom and brought her mom. And then she came back another day and had to wait until it was all nighttime, over and over like 300 times.
Okay, so from what Rasheed has told us, Rasheed says that Harriet Tubman was a slave and she was tired of being a slave and she escaped. And when she escaped, she went back and got her family, right? Now, I'm not sure that she went to Vegas, but we'll maybe figure out where she escaped to. Okay, Grace?
She went to Pennsylvania.
Okay, Grace says she went to Pennsylvania. So here's what we're going to do today. Leading the way. What do you think leading the way means? About Harriet Tubman, what would she be leading, Cooper? Her parents to
get out of the place where they're being enslaved.
get out of the place where they're being enslaved. What else, Kaylin? What else might she be leading?
She's going to lead them how to escape.
How to escape slavery. Good thoughts. Okay, so it says at the bottom, in the mid-1800s, Harriet Tubman helped many people escape slavery. Now her bravery is being remembered in a special way. Did we have brave up here? We did. We did. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to split you up into your reading groups. let's go ahead and open this up. Sorry, go ahead and open it up. And why don't you fold it so you're just looking at this passage, okay? So we don't get distracted by the other passages. I'm gonna pair you up in your reading groups, and we're gonna do some more work with this, okay? So let's have, let's see, groups 1 and 2. You guys can come on over here, and that is Brody, Lindsay, Dara, Taylor, Grace, Abby, Rashid, and Adeline. Come on over here. Don't touch the Chromebooks. Bring your passage with you. Bring your passage with you. Okay, we might need to pull a chair up. And then groups 3 and 4. See if we can work around the table. You have to pull some chairs up to fit everybody around you. 7 of you. So we need 4 more chairs. Okay, we all in our groups?
Yes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Group 3 and 4. You're going to read this passage together, okay? Make sure you're on She Led the Way to Freedom, okay? You're going to read this together. You're going to talk about it together, okay? What do I always say? 2 are better than 1, right? You're going to talk about this. If something's confusing, talk about it, okay? You're going to read this through. You're going to look at the maps. You're going to look at the vocabulary and the pictures. After you've read it, I want you to click on words to know. And I want you to look at the words plantation, raid, and descendants, the same words that are in your words to know box. Okay? Talk about those words after you've read it together. Okay? You guys have questions? Okay, read it, and then I'm going to give you something else to do.
Writing paragraphs.
You don't need to write anything right now.
No, I mean,
However you want to do that. If that works best for you guys, then that will work, okay? You guys good? Okay, now you guys, let me get back in here. We're going to read it together. Alright?
Are you getting it?
How about I read it? Because there might be some crazy words in here that might be a little hard, okay? But we'll just talk about it as we go along, okay?
She was born in the
mid-1800s. Okay, so that's about a couple hundred years ago. Yeah. All right, so she led the way to freedom. You guys follow along with me, and then we'll just talk about it, okay? One of our country's most famous leaders in the fight against slavery was Harriet Tubman. She risked her life to help people escape slavery in the 1850s and 1860s. Now, the U.S., what's that abbreviated for? United States, is remembering her courage in a special way. 2 national parks have been named in her honor. They are the first national historic parks to honor an African-American woman. Okay, Addie forgets what slavery is. How can we tell her?
Slavery is when a long time ago, and it still happens sometimes, like people from America, like chase people, like in Africa, like they go to Africa and then they try to capture people and then make them their slaves.
So what does it mean to be somebody's slave?
Kind of like a king and a queen. Like they own you. Like they tell you what to do and you have to do it.
Okay, does that kind of, Grace, do you want to add more to that? Yeah, do you get paid for the work that you do?
No.
No.
Like they can hurt you if they want to.
Right, they force you, okay?
They can hurt you. In some
countries,
Africa, people get chased down all the time.
Okay, all right. So does everybody remember what slavery is? Now, would you have wanted to be in her position? Would you
say-
have tried to find a way to get out of that?
Yeah, and I would also try to save some people.
Yeah, save some other
Yeah, she
people.
felt kind of guilty of not saving other people. She went back and saved like 300 people.
To have slaves, it was in certain parts of the country. Not all of the states said you can have slaves. Ohio was one that said no slaves.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what are the 2 ways that they are honoring here at Tubman? What did the text say? Look back in the text.
2 national parks.
What about the national parks? What are they doing with them?
Being named in honor. In her honor.
Okay, so the national park is named after Harriet Tubman. Okay. All right. Let's read from slave to leader. Okay. Follow along with me. Harriet Tubman was born in Maryland around 1820. At that time, slavery was legal in Maryland and many other states, mostly in the South. Tubman and her family were slaves on a cotton plantation. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. Let's look at the bottom. See the words to know? See, find plantation.
A large farm.
A large farm. So plantation's a large farm. Let me show you.
No, so she was kind of like a farm.
Oops, this is the wrong Scholastic News. Yeah. So here's our words to know. There's a plantation, a large farm.
Oh, that's really big.
Instead of a farm,
A large farm.
Okay, so you see the picture of it?
instead of like a farm, could it also be like a big, huge? They said cotton.
It would be a farm.
The
It would be
plains is a
farm.
big, huge lot.
So what do you think your job might be if you were a slave?
You would have to like grow plants.
Rake leaves.
Yeah, and you have
Yep.
to pick them, but you can't wear gloves to get the thorns in. You just have to use your bare hands.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's go back to this.
Cotton costs a lot of money.
I don't know.
No, they say it does. My brother got some.
Okay. Tubman and her family were slaves on a cotton plantation. So they were slaves on a cotton farm. Okay, they grew cotton. They were forced to pick cotton and do other jobs. Hey, Skylin, I apologize. I told you guys to watch the wrong thing. Watch the video. Okay.
Teacher, we have to watch it. We have to.
Okay, here we go. Tubman escaped to Pennsylvania. You were right. You said Pennsylvania. Grace. Yes, she escaped to Pennsylvania in 1849. To get there, she used what's known as the Underground Railroad. It wasn't a real railroad, but a series of secret routes. The routes led from the southern states to the northern states where slaves could be free. And what did we learn about the southern states? What did it say in the text?
They had the most slaves.
Yeah, they had the most slavery. Okay? So why were people trying to get north?
So they could have more slavery.
So they could be
Free.
free. So they could be free, okay? For slaves, the journey was full of danger. If found by slave catchers, they were returned to their owners and often punished. It was a risk. It was a risk Tubman was willing to take. But once Tubman was free, she worried about the people she had left behind. You guys need to be following along. And decided to rescue them, just like you said, Rashid. Over the next decade, you guys know how long a decade is? It's 10 years. 10 years is 1 decade, okay? Over the next decade, she guided at least 70 other slaves to freedom, including much of her family. In 1863, Tubman helped lead a raid.
A sudden attack.
A sudden attack, thank you, Abby, on several plantations in South Carolina, freeing hundreds more.
Yeah,
Okay?
she did.
Here's a,
And at my church, they said she freed she did it like about 300 times.
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Here's raid.
Raid. A sudden attack.
Okay, what is that skunk doing?
It's like eating the eggs.
It says the skunk found eggs during its raid on the bird's nest. Okay.
Looks like
Oh, by the way, so she was kind of like an alpha.
What do you mean? An alpha?
Wait, no,
Bring your
not an
computer here.
alpha. She was
Bring your computer here. What do you mean an alpha?
Never mind.
Okay. All right.
she don't look very happy in the picture.
Well, maybe. Why wouldn't she look very happy?
She's a slave.
Yeah,
She's like,
probably when she was a slave. It looks like she's pictured.
I would have been like this.
I'll go
Okay. All right. Let's. Historic honors the next section. What
Doesn't historic mean like
means like what?
funny?
No, that would be hysterical. Okay. Historic is
A great honor?
it makes history. Okay.
I was about to say like history.
Oh no. Okay. Does somebody want to try to read a
I will.
historic? Lindsay, why don't you try to read a historic honor? Okay.
Today,
Tubman.
is remembered as one of the most famous leaders on the Underground Railroad.
Thank you.
Harriet Tubman.
National parks will help tell her story. One is in Maryland, where she grew up. There, visitors can see the woods where
Travel for a whole week, hiding during the day and running at
the
night.
other is
Don't quit until you're safe.
Auburn,
It sounds like something you might see in a movie, but believe it or not, it's a true story of an incredible woman named Harriet Tubman.
people can visit her.
Harriet was born almost 200 years ago. Back then, slavery was legal in some parts of the United States.
Kind of burial places where
Slaves and negroes were forced to work for no money.
So where are the two national
Harriet
parks?
escaped from slavery in 1849. Then she went back to the South, again and again, to help other slaves get to freedom. Harriet helped free about 70 to 80 slaves. Although she was not the only person who helped slaves escape, Harriet became a legend.
Where's the other?
Schools, highways, and monuments
And
all
what? No, don't guess. Let's look in the text.
It also has a map with
No, where's the other one? The one's in Auburn, New York. Where's the other historic national park? We just read it.
I wonder since she
It's in Maryland. Why is the other one in Maryland?
Because that's where she grew up.
That's where she was. What does the text say?
With little. That's where she was.
Where she grew up. Yep.
I
Okay.
wonder if she got hurt by the people who were making her be a slave.
I don't know. Okay, let's read our last paragraph together. For Tubman's descendants.
People related to someone who lived long ago.
Okay, so here's our picture and our definition.
It sounds like something you might see in a movie, but believe it or not, it's a true story of an incredible woman.
Maybe. Okay, but you can see the picture. See, it's like a family picture. So they have many descendants. Okay? People who lived, people related to someone who lived long ago. Okay? Many of the man's descendants gathered for a family reunion. Okay? So who goes to family reunions?
I do. Wait, I've never been to one.
Okay? What family reunions? You're meeting lots of
I've been to. I don't really like to.